الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم ربنا لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Some very beautiful hadith. If you remember, we did narrate this hadith in the last semester, and it is basically the narration of Tabarani, or Imam Tabari. And I did promise you to complete the second half of the hadith, inshallah, in this semester. So just I would like to remind you the beginning of this hadith. So inshallah, maybe this week or the week after, inshallah, we can complete all of the hadith. So if you remember that in the hadith once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was said with his Sahaba, and he started asking Sahaba one after the other. So first he said, first he asked Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, saying, ماذا تحب من الدنيا? What do you like from this dunya? Or Abu Bakr, what do you like from this dunya? So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu said, the first thing I like in this dunya, Ya Rasulullah, al-julus bayni yadayk, and the second is وَالنَّظَرُ إِلَيْكَ, and third is وَالْإِسْتِمَاعُ مِنْكَ أو وَالسِّمَاعُ مِنْكَ. So the first is, Ya Rasulullah, the first ever best thing in this dunya I love is to be sitting in front of you, next to you. And the second is, the second thing I like in this dunya is to be looking at you. And third is to be listening from you. Okay? If you remember, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, if his iman would be put in one side of scale, and iman of the rest of ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it is including Umar and Ali ibn Abi Talib and Imam Mahdi and all of these saint people on the other side, okay, so iman of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq would be much more stronger, heavier, okay. And then Rasulullah said that the superiority of Abu Bakr on top of my ummah is not because of his deeds, because maybe there was, or even there will be, some of ummah of Rasulullah who will be practicing, or who will be doing much more good deeds, fasting every day, okay, praying, etc., much more than Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. But Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he has been given a superiority on top of the rest of ummah because of something that he has in his heart, okay, and that was iman, okay. And on the strength of iman, its qualities will be strong. So love of God and love of His Messenger is one of the qualities or conditions or pillars of iman. So if your iman is strong enough, then on the same strength will be your love towards God and His Messenger. Okay? And trust on God, to rely on Him, tawakkul, is also one of the conditions of iman. So on the strength of your iman will be the strength of your tawakkul upon God. Okay, so there is very beautiful narration from Tabi'in, who are narrating from Israeliyat, from Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, saying, Isa alayhi salam says, if anyone would have a certainty on God, he would walk on the sea. Okay, so anyone, if he would have yaqeen, a certainty, then he would be walking on the sea, you know, the water. Okay, because whenever our iman is not that strong, so our trust and our tawakkul and the rest of the qualities of our iman will be weak. Okay, so here is the best proof for the strength of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He says, Ya Rasulullah, the best thing in this dunya I love is to be sitting in front of you. Love of the Prophet and love of God is the quality of iman. So the strength of that quality based on the strength of your iman. So because Abu Bakr as-Siddiq had very strong iman, so his conditions, the rest of the conditions of iman was strong, on the same strength. Okay, anyway, we have spoken about it, if you remember. And then what about Umar al-Faruq? What do you think? Umar al-Faruq. Whenever I speak about Umar radiallahu anhu, I imagine very tall person with his stick on his hand, and the person who never goes to compromise for himself and for others also. Either you are Muslim or either you are hypocrite. But in between, there is no one in between. So I do imagine that type of personality. Okay, so what about Umar radiallahu anhu? Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam asked him, okay, oh Umar, what about you? What do you love in this dunya? Well, Umar radiallahu anhu, if you remember about Umar radiallahu anhu, he is the person, when Allah has given permission for migration, everyone, you know, left Mecca to Medina secretly, but except this guy, you know. This guy is too brave to be hiding, you know. He is too lion to be hiding. Okay, so he went, he picked up his arrows, and on the other hand, you know, sword, he went to Kaaba. Okay, and he started performing tawaf. And the narrator says, whenever he passed through some circle of Quraysh, okay, he greeted them. If you remember the text of greetings, just amazing. Shahatul wujuh, may Allah burn these faces, you know. Anyone who wants to die, so basically let him to meet me behind Haram, basically, behind this mountain. Okay, and performed tawaf and prayed behind Maqam Ibrahim, and he just left. But no one followed him, you know, because they know who is this person. Okay, and also this person basically is Faruq. Faruq, farq in Arabic language, to differentiate. Faruq is the reason of differentiating between true Muslims and disbelievers. Why? Because when he became Muslim, so he was something about 38th Muslim. Okay, then even the Muslims, weak Muslims who were afraid to say publicly that they are Muslims, they said we are Muslims, because now they have protection. Okay, so what about this guy? What does he love? 3 things. So he says, Amrun bil ma'ruf. First thing, Amrun bil ma'ruf walau kana sirran. Ya Rasulullah, the first thing that I love, to order the people to do a good deeds even secretly. Now, please, can you help me? Why he says even secretly? So even, we normally use this word even to say something as minimum. Am I right? For example, please, can you give me something to drink, even maybe a couple drops of water? Means even that, smallest amount. So why is even? Does it mean that to make Amr bil Ma'ruf is better to make it publicly? Does it mean that? Actually, yes, it does mean it. Why? Because other way around, inshallah, he will be saying, وَنَهْيٌ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَلَوْ كَانَ جَهْرًا. To be prohibiting the people from bad deeds even publicly. Why? Because whenever you are prohibiting the people from bad deeds, you should do it secretly. Why? Because otherwise you will be causing scandal. So for example, you saw someone committing sin, so if you will say loudly, you are not making nahi anil munkar, but actually you are causing scandal for that person. And it's not permissible to uncover someone committing sin, to uncover him, you know. First of all, you have to be sure that whatever he is doing, that by ijma is sin. And then you have to go and secretly you have to whisper to him, saying, oh brother, this is not permissible, what you have done just now. Okay? And what about the third thing? وَقَوْلُ الْحَقِّ وَلَوْ كَانَ مُرًّا. And to say the truth even if it is bitter. Okay, I mean, Umar ibn Khattab, he cannot do anything else, you know. If there is some truth to be said, he has to say. Okay, he cannot bear anything else, you know. Umar ibn Khattab. If you remember, we have spoken about lying. And we did narrate a lot of hadith about lying. Once, if you remember, someone came to the Prophet ﷺ. Hadith is weak, but we have strong proof for this meaning. And he asked, he said, Ya Rasulullah, is it possible that the Muslim person can steal? Okay, he can steal. Rasulullah ﷺ said, yes, it could be. And then that person said, Ya Rasulullah, what do you think? Is it possible that Muslim can be covered, so he's not brave? Okay, then Rasulullah ﷺ said, yes, also it is possible. But then when he has been asked, is it possible, Ya Rasulullah, that Muslim can lie? He said, never. Muslim never lies. Okay, Muslim never lies. What does it mean? Does it mean that we are all non-Muslims? Well, if we ask, you know, ourselves, we find that there is no a day in which we do not lie. We have to lie, or otherwise we will die, you know. It's impossible for us to stay alive without lying. So does it mean that we are not Muslims? So according to this hadith, yes. Rasulullah ﷺ said, يُتْبَعُ الْمُؤْمِنُ عَلَى الْخِلَالِ كُلِّهَا إِلَّا الْخِيَانَ وَالْكَذِبِ. Muslim can have any kind of qualities, any kind of character, except cheating people and lying. Okay, so maybe I could remind you with a couple of things that you have done recently. If you remember, you did pick up the paper, okay, and there was a lot of conditions, and you did cheat just to get some kind of benefit. Okay, some couple of, you know, pounds, you know, extra pounds. So you did sign it, but your intention was, so you are signing for your own reason, which is in here. But what about there? You are not signing there, you know, but you are signing there. So it means it have to be true, whatever you are signing for. But when you compare your signature with whatever was there, it wasn't real. It wasn't as it was in reality, you know. Means you did cheat. Why? To get about 200 or 300 pounds. Okay, and then we love to justify. We love to justify a lot. What do we say? We say, oh, you know, we are not in non-Muslim country, you know. Okay, oh, you know, we are here, we are there, so many things, you know. But then, this justification, do you think that it will help you in Yawm al-Qiyamah? Allah will apply His own constitution. Okay, so when you did sign it, means whatever was written in there, it was 100% correct. But it wasn't. But you did sign it, and then you did claim that money. So that is haram for you. So you did feed that money to your kids, you know. Okay, and what's the difference between that and buying a pork, you know, khinzir, pig, and to feed it to your kids? Islamically, both are same. Why? Because that is haram and this is haram also. But what about slaughtering, etc.? It doesn't matter. Because you're using haram money, you know. You're using haram money. Or who knows, maybe the clothes that you're wearing now, it is from the same money which you did cheat. It doesn't matter any side, institution or individual, it doesn't matter. You did claim that money and you did buy a cloth. And in this cloth you are praying. Okay? You are not ashamed in front of God, you know, staying with the cloth which you did steal from the people. and you're not ashamed in front of God to stay there and to pray, do you think that Allah will accept this salat with these stolen clothes? Of course not. So Muslim can be anyone. He can commit zina. Okay, he can do this, he can do that, he can do everything but except two things, which you have done recently. One is cheating, so you are cheating all the time, and the second is lying. Okay, even before you came to my class, you did lie. Okay, so you are cheating and you are lying. Okay, and Muslim never does these two things. So whenever you will stop doing that, you have to say that now I became Muslim, Ya Allah, accept my Islam. Okay, but before that, do not lie to yourself, you know. You can cheat me, you can cheat yourself, but you cannot cheat him. Because he knows, he sees, you know, he watches you. So Ya Rasulullah, third thing that I love is to say the truth even if it is bitter. Truth is all the time bitter, you know. Truth is all the time bitter. But my question, truth, it is a stick, it is a staff, one side which of is in the hand of God, and the second side is in your hand. So do you think that something in the hand of God, it will be bitter? It never can be, you know. But because whatever you are doing, it makes that staff to be bitter. Because you cannot go straight, you know. You cannot go straight. So to justify your fake things, you have to lie. But if you will say the truth, that will go against you, against your caprices, you know. Then you cannot fulfill your ego. Okay? So that is the thing which makes the truth to be bitter. But bitter is so delicious, you know. It's so bright, so strong light, you know. And light never can be bitter. But because your way is all the time to get some kind of benefit by fake and false ways, so truth for you is very bitter. Why? Because it decreases the amount of money that you are receiving, or it decreases your level in front of the people, but not in front of God. Because in front of God, the truth actually increases your level, you know. So that is the truth. And third thing, Ya Rasulullah, that I love to say the truth, even if it is bitter. So, truth never will be bitter, but only your caprices and your ego, it is the thing which makes the truth to look bitter. But truth is so delicious. And then, it is the turn of Uthman ibn Affan. What do you think about this person? Uthman radiallahu anhu is fakhr of the Muslim nation. I don't believe that in any other nation there was anyone who was equal to Uthman radiallahu anhu, and nor to Abu Bakr and nor to Umar. And what about the Uthman radiallahu anhu? He was a very shy person. But then, if you know, we have two kind of qualities, and both is to be shy. But one is weakness and the second is strength. One is the weakness of your character, and the second is strength of your iman. Okay? So what about the weakness of your character? Weakness of your character is, for example, now it is the time of Salat, and you are in a restaurant or a 5-star hotel. Okay? So there is a red carpet basically. Okay, and people are going on this red carpet. And now you have only 5 minutes left till time of Salah to expire. Okay, so now if you will run towards your room, you know, in hotel, you will not have enough time. So there is only one chance to pray now here. So will you or not? You will be ashamed to do that. Why? Because your iman is weak, if you have any. Okay. So because your iman is weak, you will not pray there. Why? Because people are watching you. Look, people are practicing their religion. They're not ashamed of you. They're kissing each other in front of the people. Okay? They're eating. They're smoking. Okay? And all of that, even they're drinking alcohol in front of everyone. That is their religion. So they're not ashamed of their religion. Okay? So they have very strong character. But what about you? when you are following the truth, why you have to be ashamed of praying now there? So that is to be ashamed, but that's not the sign of Iman. That is actually weakness of your character, weakness of your Iman. Okay? Once Rasulullah ﷺ was just passing through someone, some couple, some two basically Sahaba, and the older Sahaba was basically advising the youngest Sahaba, because youngest Sahaba, he was very shy young man. Okay, so that older Sahabi was saying, do not be that ashamed, etc. Then Rasulullah ﷺ said, leave him alone, because shyness, to be ashamed, that is the sign of Iman. Okay, and let's now, alhamdulillah, we found what's the weakness of character, and what is the being ashamed, which is the sign of Iman. For example, now it is basically you are in some place where no one knows you. Okay, no one recognizes you in that place. So it's not Rochdale, it's not even the UK. So you are maybe in Japan. Okay, and then you have a chance to commit some sin, and people can see you. So if you would be in here in Rochdale, you wouldn't do that. But because you are there, so will you do that, or will you be ashamed there also? So if you will be, then may Allah bless you, because that is not weakness of your character, but that is actually strength of your Iman. Okay? They narrate about Uthman radiallahu anhu, even when he used to change his clothes, he used to be very quick. Why? Because he used to be ashamed from angels. Okay, to uncover his aura. I mean, no one can see him there, No, it's not the matter of someone. It is the matter of Iman, basically. So his Iman is not only in Rochdale or in Medina, but his Iman is in his heart. So wherever he will be, his Iman will follow him. Okay? But what about us? Our Iman is actually either in Barry or in Rochdale or in Oldham, because some people can see me there, recognize me there, And now, Ummah channel, okay, so whole UK, but I will find a place where no one recognizes me, and I will do whatever I want to there. Means my Iman actually can leave me in some place. So the quality of Iman will leave me also. So I'm not ashamed means the Kamil Iman, the perfect Iman, is not there with me, basically. Okay? So, Haya that Rasulullah ﷺ is speaking about, which is the strength of Iman, or which is the sign of Iman, that is to be ashamed to commit a sin. But not from the people, but from the Creator of the people. Okay? So wherever you will go, even if there is no a people, but there is the Creator. Okay? Rasulullah ﷺ said once, إِلَّمْ تَسْتَحِي فَاسْنَعْ مَا شِئْتَ. If you're not ashamed, then do whatever you want to. Okay, so actually, it is only this quality, haya, it is the thing mainly which protects us from the sins. Okay, haya, it is basically the thing which protects us from the sins. And if you remember, once Rasulullah ﷺ was sitting with uncovered, basically, knees, and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq came, and Rasulullah ﷺ was just leaning, because he was tired, etc. Then Rasulullah ﷺ gave him permission, and then Umar came, and the same thing happened. But when Uthman radiallahu anhu came, Rasulullah ﷺ sat up, and then basically he covered up his knees, okay, and his legs, basically. And then they were surprised. Actually, it was Sayyidah Aisha, as I remember. She said, Ya Rasulullah, when Abu Bakr came, Umar came, you was just relaxing. But when Uthman came, you did set up, and etc., So then Rasulullah ﷺ said, how do you want me to not to be ashamed in front of the one whom even the angels feel ashamed in front of, So that is Uthman radiallahu anhu. So, Uthman, what about you? 3 things that you love more than anything else in this dunya. Ya Allah. So Uthman radiallahu anhu said, أحب ثلاثا يا رسول الله. He said, إطعام الطعام, the first thing. إطعام الطعام وإفشاء السلام والصلاة بالليل والناس نيام. Such amazing thing. First is to feed the people. The first ever thing that I love, Ya Rasulullah, is to feed the people. Okay? Rasulullah ﷺ actually says, the one who is full but his neighbors are hungry, Allah doesn't accept his salat, as I remember the hadith. Okay, or in the other narration, the person, he didn't get the perfect iman if he is sleeping full and his neighbors are hungry. Okay, so you know, you think that we are in the UK and there is no any poverty in the UK. You know, first of all, I do believe that there is poverty, and also it doesn't have to be in the UK. Wherever there is poverty, you have to feel ashamed in front of God to eat so many various kinds of kebab and whatever, chinky pinky or what's that, piri piri, you know. But people are hungry, you know. They're not finding a couple of drops of water even, you know. Okay. It'amu ta'am and wa ifsha'u salam. It is the sunnah that we've killed long time ago, to make greeting of each other wherever we see each other, even if we do not recognize each other. Okay, so you know, we do see some Muslims, even when we look at the faces or eyes, our eyes can recognize each other, you know. Why? Because our spirits made each other long time, even before we've been created, you know. And even Rasulullah ﷺ says that arwah of mu'mins, they will meet each other on the distance of 2 days. Okay, so that is something about 60 kilometers. Can you imagine? So now I'm going to, for example, let's say to London. So any Muslim that I'm going to meet there, my ruh will meet him before me. Okay, so just look at his eyes and you do recognize that person. Why? Because you saw him 2 days ago. Okay, so why not to greet him then? Rasulullah ﷺ says, one of the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah, that people will be greeting only the people whom they do recognize. But what about the rest of the Muslims? Basically, we did destroy this sunnah a long time ago. And the third thing, Ya Rasulullah, I do love in this dunya is وَالصَّلَاةُ بِاللَّيْلِ وَالنَّاسُ نِيَامٌ, to be praying during the night time when people are sleeping, asleep. You know, you do not imagine how amazing it is to be asleep in the night, you know. You know, there is some weak hadith in which Rasulullah ﷺ has been asked, what is the best type of worshipping? So Rasulullah ﷺ said, Ahmazuha. Ahmazuha means the most difficult one. So whenever you are doing some worshipping which is more difficult, means you are gaining more reward. So two people, one is praying during the daytime, and the second is praying the same amount of rakat, 2 rakat, during the night. So the person who is praying during the night, he will be rewarded much more, of course. Why? Because it's too difficult, you know, because it's so delicious. Okay? And we are not praying during the night. Why? Because we are hoping, maybe inshallah, tonight I will see the Prophet ﷺ in my dream. So let me to complete, you know, till Fajr. Okay? That's very good excuse, you know. Very important excuse. But then, Rasulullah ﷺ comes to visit you, or you will go to visit him when you will reach to some level. Okay? So that level will not be gained by sleeping and waiting for him, you know. Okay, so wake up and pray only 2 rakats. Okay? And who knows, maybe after that, maybe before Fajr, you will feel asleep maybe for a couple of minutes. Then you will see him there. Okay? So anyway, these are 3 things, Ya Rasulullah, I love in this dunya. And it was Uthman radiallahu anhu. Anyway, please can we just stop here, and we'll carry on with Ali and the rest of Sahaba by the next week, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.